Thanks for tuning in. Sorry about the mess at the window. Got my new window in, the roof's been done, but I still need to finish off the internal work here, as you can see. So hopefully I'll get that done in the next week or so. Um, it's a job I can tackle myself, but it just takes time. It takes me a lot of thinking through what's to be done first. Anyway, obviously that's not why I'm on. Susan here, as you know, or you wouldn't have tuned in. And I really should write a script for these things because then I won't sound quite so dizzy when I come on. But this one, um, I was actually following the British Academy of Crystal Healing's wee podcast, Meditate Will the Bladder Out today, because of it's the 13th of October 23. And this is the lunar eclipse, and tomorrow's a new moon. So there I was, as usual, not good at disappearing into meditation, so my brain starts working. And the key thing about this, how this started, although I've been gathering these wee bits and pieces for a few days, weeks, we had a fabulous seminar. Those of you who know me coordinating for collective awareness, we used to run as community assembly, but things have changed there, so I've continued under collective awareness. And we had a seminar on Wednesday night by Zoom. Our members will know this already. And they will get a copy of their video, but it's not for social media, so we keep it private to our members. But you can go on and look up andylockmears.com, lock with an E, mears.com for German New Medicine. And she was fabulous. She was absolutely brilliant. She had a lovely way of putting it across. She really knew her stuff. She had a very bubbly personality. But it was fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Um, and it takes the woo out of alternative therapies, and but it's still obviously not recognised by conventional medicine today, whereby constellations in the brain have been formed as a result of like a sort of triple trauma, a trauma that affects you in three ways: the brain, the organ, the environment. She obviously describes it better than me. I'm not quite used to it yet to get all the terminology right. But it has a triple effect, and therefore it blows up. And then down the line, um, because this also affects a part of the body or an organ or whatever, because of the fear and response to the brain, it also affects an organ. And then you get symptoms to an illness and so on. And only by going back, finding out what the trauma was, finding out what your triggers are to bring that back again, can you really get rid of the original cause of this. CAT scans have shown this constellation pattern in the brain. The one that was on was so clear, it was unbelievable, but rightly so, they don't all appear as close as strongly as that. So the whole idea of the German New Medicine in itself was fascinating. But the bit I want to talk about was where she mentioned that these constellations in the brain are very often diagnosed by conventional doctors as tumours, and they treat them as tumours. And of course, they go down the chemotherapy, the radiotherapy route, and so on. And before you know it, you're well damaged. And after she did a presentation, because God love her, she's a busy woman, and she managed to give us, well, she said an hour, but she was actually about an hour and a quarter or more of our time. So a few of us kept a chat after technically the session was finished. And the key thing that struck me since then, as I've sort of been reviewing what we were talking about, was that Linda had said, yeah, but if I was told I had a brain tumour, would I be willing to hang on and let it resolve itself, thinking it was a constellation, treating it as a constellation, letting it resolve itself, because these things apparently are formed as a result of, how can I put it, almost like deflating after fluid has left. Um, and it forms these rings or patterns. So she said if I was diagnosed with a tumour, would I be willing to hang on and trust the German new medicine and let it go? And yeah, I think that's the stage that a lot of us have got to with conventional medicine, is that we have been pulled into it for so long that we believe that's the right way. And obviously, what has opened our eyes to this is that the world was told that the PCR was the way to diagnose whether or not you had, ta-da, even though we know fine well it wasn't. And when the other one, the lateral flow, came in, it came in initially as a I don't know what you would call it, because it, like because it had to be confirmed by a PCR. So obviously they had no faith in the lateral flow because it had to be confirmed by the PCR, even though most of us knew that the PCR was a piece of not fit for the purpose for which it was being sold. So they did away with that. There was too much hype around it because everybody knew it was bogus, and they focused then on the lateral flow, even though previously it had to be backed up. Anyway, so basically what I'm trying to get at here is you now have to be tested to find out if you have a particular illness. Regardless as to the symptoms, you're tested, and there's pesticides. And what has happened over the years, we've been drawn into this. This one, over the past few years, we've begun to wonder about. But look at all the previous ones. Look at the scans that told you had a brain tumour, when it may not have been a brain tumour. But those in the know said, oh, that's what it is. So, and this is a CAT scan, and this is, highly technical, and this is right. And my brother-in-law, it was suggested that he get a DAT scan, which I didn't know what it was to start with, but uh, I looked it up and found out it was a test for Parkinson's, whereby they put a radioactive material into the body. It collects in the brain, and then they scan the brain. And the more I looked into it and read the article, I mean, it was only the second article I read, so it wasn't hard to find. The writer admitted that the physical symptoms for this were a better indication than this test. And this test might not be 100% accurate. And yet they're willing to inject somebody with a radioactive material which is going to collect in the brain, which is going to affect somebody's behaviour, for testing for Parkinson's in the first place. So what I'm getting to is we're now we're led to believe that the folk in the know have got it right. And there are too many instances now where the tests that they're pushing forward are more detrimental to your health, or the treatment following these tests is more detrimental to your health than the original condition would have been. And I'm thinking, I'm lying there pretending that I'm meditating with my labradorite on my eyes and over my heart chakra, thinking, yeah, maybe I'll get into this meditation eventually. But of course I don't. Because then I start thinking of the bowel tests that they give us, the mammograms that they give us, um, taking blood tests for cholesterol, and then going, oh, well, no, oh, your cholesterol's way too high. Oh, it's 5. We need to get it down below 4. Excuse me? It goes down below 4 for any length of time. You do fall foul of some illness or whatever, and you don't have the cholesterol required to repair the body or to make the brain function. I'm beginning to get a bit You can hear it in my voice, I'm sure. Sorry about that. Whoo, calm. Anyway, point I'm trying to make through all of these tests that I'm thinking about is that we're believing the people who are interpreting these tests because we're told these tests work. And then that German new medicine showed us that this brain pattern isn't actually a tumour at all. Of course, they have to get into your brain before they discover that. They have to find mine first. But seriously, it really makes me think it's bad enough going along with your symptoms, being handed a prescription, which is more likely to be detrimental than helpful. And now we've got all these tests telling you this is what it is. And this is what we're going to do for you. And you have to get it done because this test shows, injecting somebody with radioactive material. Bad enough for the heavy metals that we're collecting, that we're having to get rid of, or chlorella or whatever you use. By the way, John Millward was saying that sage helps to unblock the pineal gland. A wee drop of sage behind the ears or on the pinny point will help to, he reckons one drop one day will help to clear your pineal gland of the build up around that. Anyway, that's another point. But the fact is, where we are now trying to get rid of the heavy metals that are clogging us up and stopping us thinking, and they're busy putting them back in. We're radioactive tags. Anyway, just a point of thought. If I can make you think, so much better. I'm not asking anybody to agree with me, because I don't know. I'm just thinking. So I'm hoping that you'll think too. Put any comments you've got, anything that helps, pop it in the chat below, because I would really like to hear other people's opinion on this, because these things come in when I'm just myself, so I'll have to bounce it off of somebody. So anyway, right, I'm way over my 6 minutes today. In fact, I've doubled it. So live, love, and be happy. And hopefully the next time I'll think about something, it's a more cheerful topic. But in the meantime, blessings to you.